This is my current work in progress, a little project for myself that I do find a lot of enjoyment in. This is a 1942 World War II military vehicle. It's a WC-53 Dodge Carryall. The body was in horrible condition. It still is, honestly. Doing some repair work to it now, making up a new subframe for the body panels and put some new sheet metal on the side. I already had to graft a new cowl section on the front because that was totally trashed. I had made up a new window frame for it because it didn't have one with it, and the body itself, yeah, it's pretty well toast, as you can see, but the window frames and everything are still in decent shape. I had made a new body for it, or frame rather, underneath of here, out of 1x3 tube frame underneath. You can see all that under there. Which was fun. It was relatively easy to do since I was working on top of a different frame. You can see the back of it here is likewise in rough shape, but it's a pretty simple platform, so it won't be too hard to do the body work on it. That is a transmission, a G56 6-speed transmission, because this is made it up to a 1997 Dodge Cummins, and all the running gear on it and the frame itself is also 97 Dodge Cummins. So I'm hybridizing it by putting the 42 body, doors, fenders, etc., hood and everything on it. So ostensibly from the outside it will look like a 42, lifted somewhat with some bigger tires on it, hopefully. But it'll have the reliability of conventional drivetrain and the power of the Cummins diesel. Underneath there, I had taken the cab mounts off the 97 Dodge and mounted them in just appropriate places where I put some 1x3 tube stock cross members. And to make the wheelbase somewhat close, I extended it just a tad, but I used some hardened bolts and moved the rear axle forward. And I actually had spliced it. It took about 3 feet off of the frame. And you can just see where it's segmented. Under here, it worked out that the frame section that was under the bed here was just slightly narrow enough that I could slip it inside. So I was able to retain the rear rivets from the frame and just took the 3 feet off so that my wheelbase was fairly close. And what I'm working on tonight is I had taken some 2x2 tube steel and made up some new door posts, a structural post that'll be welded to the lower floor frame that I had fabricated, and eventually we'll have another piece connecting the two, left and right, across the top just behind the driver's cabin, which will effectively turn it into a type of roll bar. I put these little channel iron pieces on the sides. Those are going to be my hinge mounts for the door frame, and put some notches in it for mounting to the base, and put some curves in them at the head so that they can follow in the contours of the truck roof. So I'm going to go ahead and get these in place, see if we can get them clamped up and true the body up. So I did the install on the two doorpost replacements right there.
Based on 2013 Q1 wireless industry earning net ads for JD Power and Associates award information, visit jdpower.com.
DHL Retail, Middletown Nissan's pre-owned value center. One of the benefits of being the top-selling Nissan dealer in the state is that we get so many quality pre-owned trades. We keep the very best, recondition them, and price them right for you.
Hey Dave, what happens to the rest of
It's
them?
notched up into the top there.
I
I trued them up. Both sides, neither side actually is perpendicular to the bed. They each have a 3/8 of an inch run out in 16 inches using the square, so I matched that up on both sides. And the front to back pitch is off slightly. It's only 1/8 of an inch leaning towards the front in 16 inches, but I matched them up. I set the doors on top of there on the outside. Today I'm continuing to work on the side panels of the 42 Carryall. The panels were completely obliterated on the sides, so I made these vertical uprights out of 1x3 tube steel and welded them to the body, made them parallel to each other anyway, not necessarily to the floor. Used one continuous one for the door jamb, new door post, which eventually will be part of a roll bar reinforcing system. And I took a piece of 1-inch tubing and bent it to roughly follow the radius of the side panel, because it's, as you can see, not straight. Reinforced what I could into the floor frame. On the back side of the truck, the radius body panel takes a little bit of an upsweep here, which complicated things a little bit, but wasn't horrible. Since I had most of the body there originally, I was able to use that as a form to bend it up and then give it that little bit of an upsweep, just following a parallel dimension off of the upper body line. And on the inside I used a few pieces of a flat stock that I had and made some standoffs with a little radius cut out of it for a cradle for the 1-inch tube steel. And then on top of that, once I had that pretty much as straight as where I wanted it, I used a piece of 1x1 square tubing stock, which will eventually be part of the interior detail of the truck to do some trim work around the windows and whatnot. But I figured that would help in reinforcing as well. I roughed the side panel. It has a 90-degree bend at the bottom, which hopefully give it a little bit of support. It's a little bit tall, but what I'm going to do is start hammer forming the top over the 1-inch pipe tubing that I had on there, and that should give me the curve that I need to match the original. Roughed out the radius for the tire. It's a little long in the back, but I have some curves to make some templates up for, so that I can bend the bottom around, and then hopefully as I work the hammer around on that pipe, it'll follow, it'll make that. It's a compound curve, and a little concerned about that one. This whole side actually is a compound curve. It has the long curve on the body, but it also has a vertical. Trying to do this compound bend here. Made up a little forming template for the corner. Put a few notches in there as well. It's only tack welded for now. I'm still trying to form it around. Not overly happy with the way this door jamb came out, but hopefully I can play around with it a little bit later and clean it up. It's the inside. One more step. So keep playing with it.